Hey, all, it's Chris Care back with Business Speakers Radio Network, and want to talk a little bit about one of our partners, Udemy. Udemy is an amazing place for uh, anybody who wants to learn new skills. It's a global marketplace for learning and teaching online where more than 24 million students are mastering new skills and achieving their goals by learning from an extensive library of over 80,000 courses taught by expert instructors. If you want to find out more about Udemy and the courses and what you can learn, please do go to the Business Speakers Radio Network website, bsrnradio.com, and you'll find out everything you need to know right there on an article on our front page. Now that we're back, I want to talk about our next guest, former Major League Baseball, Blue Jays World Series pitcher, Todd Stottlemyre. Todd, welcome to the show. And I want to talk a little bit about your new book, Relentless Success.
Very good, Chris. I appreciate, first of all, humbled, honored, really appreciate the opportunity to be on the show. I wrote a book, Relentless Success. Actually, it was a year ago, July, that it came out, became a bestseller right away. And, it's really and what was so awesome is I never, ever even dreamed about writing a book, had no intentions of writing a book, and spent a weekend with my father when he was going through a tough time, and he's battling multiple myeloma. He's been battling it for 19 years. And I was up with my father, and I realized at that moment that his fight and his warrior mentality to pursue life, even though his circumstances were brutal. And I just realized that he was given power to his life and not his circumstances. And I was like, man, this was an incredible lesson as we were going through these tragic times. But it was at that moment that I would realize, from growing up in Yankee Stadium, to be around my father, to be around people like Mantle, Mercer, Munson, historic Yankees, Yogi Berra, my father's first manager, I realized that my whole life I had inherited my father's, his relationships, his environments, his mindsets, and I'd always used it to my benefit. But here's what I realized. I was like, wow, I have never shared those experiences, good, bad, and indifferent, with other people to help them. And that was the formation of, like, I got to go write a book, and I got to go share not just my story, but the story of some people that I had in my life when I was struggling, when I was going through pain, when I was going through tragedy, when I was going through setback. But it was because of my associations that I inherited from my father that it helped me always springboard to another level and learn so many lessons along the way. And that became the book. And it became all about a 9-point system of going through life, not on the field and off the field.
And lessons learned are a big part for me. I don't know if you know, but I've got a radio show called X Mondays. It's a lessons learned global mastermind radio show that comes up obviously on Mondays. And so we bring lessons in from people from all over the world and in every walk of life and what they learned that week that can help somebody else. And just before the show, we were talking a little bit about the challenge that a lot of people have with failure and learning lessons from failure. Do you want to kind of dig into that now?
Yeah, man, I'd love to. You think about it for a second, is our greatest lessons come from sometimes our biggest or greatest setbacks. It's the failures. Yeah. And failure, to me, becomes your greatest coach and teacher, because what the failure is telling you is what you need to get better at. So I'm going to tell you, to me, it's about getting excited about failing, because every time you fail, you learn. When you learn, you have the opportunity to get better. And you mentioned learn and lessons. Think about this. How many times do we go through the day and we forget to even document what did we learn today? And I got to tell you, going through a day learning nothing is a wasted day. It wasn't even worth living. And here we got an opportunity to learn from a conversation, from a book, from a convention, from a moment. I would tell you, if I had one piece of advice for anyone, is get out there and fail. Like, go for it. I have 5 children. My youngest is 3. Here's what I would tell you. She doesn't care about someone's opinion of her voice when she's singing or when she's dancing or when she's trying to jump off the couch. She's so curious. She's exploring. And then we get to be adults, and then we get trapped. And we trap ourselves. See, I want you to take the handcuffs off. I want you to tear down the ceiling above your head that you were the architect of, that said, I can't dream too big because I don't know if I can go for it because I'm afraid to fail, because if I fail, my friends might laugh at me. I'm going to tell you, give them a laugh and go fail your butt off.
Yeah, hold my beer.
Like,
yeah.
I tell people all the time, I say, listen, I'm not going away. Get in line. It's a long line. I know a lot of you are critics. Get you some popcorn. I'm going to be hanging around a while.
Exactly.
You know, it's
Chris
okay.
Cagle, the chick's ticket. Yeah.
Yeah. Make failing, this is going to sound weird. Make failing fun.
Yeah.
Because it's the multivitamin you have to take every single day in order to have massive success. It doesn't come without it. You got to take the failure vitamin every day.
I love it. That whole concept, that expression, I just love it so much. Not that anybody enjoys or embraces the losing and the failing. It's not to adopt the
right.
losing culture, but you can't adapt, you can't innovate, you can't do anything new if you stick to what you know works.
I'd love to look back over my athletic career, because it's like, and I look at major league hitters in baseball today, and think about it. The greatest hitters of all time fail 7 out of 10 times. Now, here's what I would say. Every failure, they know they're getting closer to a success. If we can just get this in our mind.
Yeah.
And it's not to glamorize, hey, I'm the biggest failure. No, I'm not trying to glamorize it. I'm saying that is just the necessary things and steps that we have to go for. So the fear of it. See, here's what I'll tell you, what the biggest failure is not taking the step. Is not taking a step towards that fear. Is not taking a step towards that dream because of the fear of failing. When yet failing is what you need to do in order to hit the goal and dream. It's exactly what you have to do.
It's a ridiculous component of it, and it's one of the biggest causes of business failure, entrepreneurship failure, project failure, not hitting your weight loss goals, all those things, is that fear of whatever fear. I mean, I did a study in 2015 talked all about that, but it's a vital component that you have to be able to get through. That I got to ask, because I mean, with the sports background, do you think the participation trophy bit has helped or hurt that?
No, I think it's horrible. I'm probably offended a lot of people.
I agree with you. I just
I probably just offended a lot of people, because like, look, there's no trophy for showing up. You know, congratulations, you were on a team, you showed up, here's your trophy. No, you're on a team, you were supposed to show up.
Yeah.
Now, the participation trophy is rewarding, is sending the wrong reward system, and we're teaching our youth the wrong reward system. Because look, it's not that easy. It's not in business, in life, it's not that easy to get the trophy. And if we're making it easy for them as kids, think about how we're setting them up to be adults, that when they fail and don't get the trophy as an adult, think about all of that they're going to have to go through then that they should have learned as a kid.
Yeah.
Look, failing, being sad, look, it goes with, hey, when my kids are sad, I'm like, that's an emotion they have to get used to and understand. When they're happy, they need to. Hey, when they cry, they need to. When they have set, if we don't go through these things as children, we're setting them up not to be productive adults, period.
And the pain that we're setting them up for when it does eventually happen, because you can never not fail. You can't go through life never failing. You will fail at some point. And it's going to be so much more emotionally worse if you haven't experienced it earlier.
We have to go through these emotions. We have to go through that when, like I said, I got 5 kids, 23, 17, 15, 13, 3. They're all at different stages of their life. But it's like, I can't protect their failures. I need them to go through it. Yeah. And the reason I need them to go through it is because they got to understand those emotions. Here's what they got to understand: how to get back up. Yeah. And if I take getting back up away from them, I cheat their growth to their greatest self. I
There you go.
cheated.
That's the theft part.
And I don't
that
want
we
to
don't
cheat
talk
it.
about. Yeah. And it really is
Yeah.
stealing it from them, the opportunity to learn resilience, the opportunity to learn the ability to test their limits.
Yeah, exactly. And all those things, it's like it's so normal. We have these emotions and we have all these different phases and stages and things. It's like, you know, we have to go through these, and it's so important, you know, not to protect. Like, I have some companies, and I employ one of my kids, and one of my kids that works for one of our companies. It's so funny. And my 17-year-old, she's like, you know, I hear her talking to her mother, and she wants more hours and this and that. I said, listen,
good.
I'm not, just because I own the company, I'm not giving her more hours. She's got to fight for it.
Yeah.
She's got to learn the fight. If I just give it to her, here's what she's going to miss.
Yeah.
She's going to miss on the opportunity and the learning lessons to fight just like everyone else.
Yeah.
I can't take that away from my children.
Yeah.
It's so important.
That's awesome. That's exactly awesome. Not
so important. Thank you.
And so, like you say, it's not glamorizing the failure. It's glamorizing the resiliency of recovering from failure.
Yeah. I say all the time, it's my tagline. It's my tagline in life, really. I was born the son of a Major League Baseball pitcher.
Yeah.
I was not born a Major League Baseball pitcher. That part was up to me.
Yeah. And
you know, I had to do my part.
We watched that, especially in Canada, where you saw, I mean, that there were generations of Canadian ball players, especially from like Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, that made it to the Yankees for a season. And they did amazing stuff, but then they got hammered and went home because, you know, they wanted to be home. And it didn't matter. And I remember the very famous Babe Ruth trip up through the Maritimes, and he said, I mean, these are some of the best ball players in the world, but they won't play ball.
Yeah,
they like being home.
It's crazy, yeah.
And I mean, you can frame it in different contexts. That I guess the modern framing is they couldn't handle the media pressure and the other stuff that went with it. But the reality is, they liked their lives, and being big fish in little ponds was amazing. That's what they wanted, and they had it. What else do they need? Barry Vaynerchuk has a great point about that. If you are satisfied and happy in your life, dude, you've made it. You're great. Yeah. But if you aren't, what are you doing about it today? Because we only have the one life before done.
Listen, I'm with you. I'm with it. Hey, making more money might not make you happier, right? And some people say, you know, or whatever it is, whatever it is. Listen, happiness, fulfillment, being grateful, and being thankful. That's where your greatest life lies.
Yeah.
So, you know, this guy's got more money. So what? Exactly. You know, it didn't make him happier. But if you want more money, then go get it.
Exactly.
And if you don't like your situation, we have the ability as human beings. I always say this. We have the ability as human beings. If I don't like the way I think, change the way I think. If I don't like the way I feel, then change the way I feel. If I don't like the words I use, then change the words. If I don't like the people I'm hanging around, then change the crowd. If I don't like the actions that I'm taking, then change the actions. See, we have the ability to change right now.
We're not trees.
Or at least to change our direction. We can change our direction right now. We can do it right now.
Well, and to that point, you've got a program or tool that is really interesting. The Relentless Success High Performance Planner. Do you want to talk to the audience a little bit about what that is and how they can participate in that?
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's really the workbook after the book Relentless Success. Relentless Success was really about the trials, tribulations, the ups, downs, setbacks, pain. It's about winning and losing, and the 9-step achievement process that comes with it was real. It was a real life, getting real results because I went through the real thing. So I used my life and other people's lives in my lives to tell the story to bring the system to life. What I'm really excited about is the planner because, you know, look, it's more than a planner. It's a complete 1-year system. So I go through a life assessment, and as you open up the planner, you go through a life assessment. You rate where you think you are in the 8 forms of wealth or the circle of life with family, relationships, personal development, lifestyle. You go through all and you start rating. Then you build yourself a vision. And then the vision says in the next 3 to 5 years, I want you to write a statement that if everything was possible, tell me about the life you want to live. What are we going to go fight for? And you begin to write it. Then you go through goal setting. And then I give you a game plan. And then you have a daily that starts at 5 a.m., closes at 9 p.m. You got the monthly view. What I'm really excited about is the weekly measurement system that starts with a morning routine, ends with a nightly recap, and all the behaviors and the things that we got to do daily. And then my Sunday game sheet, how I prepare for a week. And it's in here for its 1 year, 52 weeks, 12 months, and with all of the things that go with it to make it a system, to make it your system. And you can get it at toddofficial.com. So toddofficial.com, click on the store. It's in pre-order right now. We're going to start shipping them before Christmas.
Awesome.
I'm so excited about this piece because it's the reflection of over 30 years of traveling through Major League Baseball, working for a Wall Street firm, launching my own investment fund, building a global sales company, writing a book. It's all the lessons in those industries and out of those industries in real life that is the collection of this system. And I'm so excited for people to get their hands on it.
And it's just a quick aside. It's amazing to me. Everybody has, in the marketing world, I hang my hat half the time, I guess. Everybody wants anybody who takes a leadership role to have a very specific brand, right? You're the productivity person. You're the leadership guru. You're the sales, whatever that is, right? And yet the vast majority of people I know who are those talents, who are those experts, like you and like me, we've had lives that touched on a lot of different fields. We got really good at a lot of different things. We're not just one monochromatic thing. And as you just went through that quick little bio at the tail end there that talked about the investment funds and the wealth management and the baseball and this wide array of stuff, the brand a lot of people might see of former athletes is still the athlete, that they don't see what happened since then and the evolution that took place.
Yeah.
So I'm really thankful that you added that in there because it is important for people to understand that, you know, sports careers are powerful. They're big things, but they don't last forever for most people.
Yeah, amen. Yeah,
and
that's right.
There's a life that happens after that. And in some of those cases, that life has some fantastic depths of expertise. And I'm really glad you shared that part with us. As well as the whole chapter.
In each time, each one of those different industries or different projects or different careers, you know, it was the ability that I had that just started ground zero. Now I'm going to tell you, I had some massive success building an asset management team, but there was some failure along the way. We've had lots of tremendous ups and downs, not only in sport, but in business and in life. And the thing that I love the most is just to remain mentally and psychologically is just continue. It doesn't matter how good you have it or how good you think you are. I would tell you that just maintain being the student every day. Find something to learn every single day. And as I approached different industries, I approached it at ground zero. What can I learn?
Yeah.
What can I learn from someone that's traveled before me so I can shorten my learning curve and study them? And that's why I'm so excited about this whole planner and this whole system, because success leaves clues.
Yeah.
It leaves clues, you know? So, I love to tell stories about other guys. I love to tell the stories about Jack Morris and Ricky Henderson and Dave Stewart and Dennis Eck. I love to tell those stories because I learned so much from those people, and they were legends.
and fun. There was a lot of fun watching you
Yeah.
guys do your thing. And I still want to know what the hell happened to Kelly Gruber.
Oh, I got to tell you, 5-tool player.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5-tool player. You know, I would have bet a lot of money he was going to be a Hall of Famer. I mean,
Yeah.
he had Hall of Fame credentials with talent, and he could do some crazy things on that baseball field. And he could run, he could throw, he could hit. I mean, amazing. And you know, look, I'm grateful I got a chance to play with him because what a tremendous athlete. But you know, he had one or two injuries, and then it began to kind of cycle, and then pretty
Yeah.
soon it's like that's the thing about sports. It's like, you know, here today, gone tomorrow, right? And so there's so much more to the game, and then you know, just playing the game. There's just so much more that comes with it, and if you lose your health in the game, you're in big trouble.
Yeah. And
In that
it's not always just
industry, and
your
that I
physical
think
health.
Kelly started, you know, yeah.
I had a cousin, Alexander Degg, who was the first round draft pick for the Ottawa Senators. And they decided to give him a $10 million rookie contract. And
Oof.
as amazing as he was, I mean, I watched a pro game with him where he was all alone for about 5 minutes. I mean, alone, 5 minutes with the 5 opposing team members. And they couldn't take the puck away from him. Could not
Wow.
take the puck away from him. But he couldn't sustain a season of success because the pressure of the money was so big right from day one. He was 19 years old. $10 million.
Yeah.
He could not handle that, and it ruined the rest of his career as a result of it. And then you see other people, they handle it just fine, and off they go. And it's just the psychology of it is different for every person, and
For
it's
sure.
interesting to see how that plays out. I don't know that anybody was financially worse off for it, but still,
Yeah.
it's an interesting world where it's not just body, it's not just mind, it's spirit, and everybody's got a different combination of it. And just chatting with you today
Mm-hmm.
about the gratitude and the curiosity and the insatiable relentlessness of it, I just am so grateful to have had the chance to chat with you today.
Well, Chris, I'm grateful, and once again, I appreciate the time and allowing me to come on and hang out with you, and I really, really appreciate it. And you know, here we are both being grateful, and to me, that probably would be the greatest takeaway from this is you know, really study and practice building your grateful muscle, because you can't believe the happiness that'll come along with it. So, Chris, thank you so much for today. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much. We've been talking with Todd Stottlemyre and his book, Relentless Success, and the planner, the Relentless Success High Performance Planner, available on toddofficial.com. Is that
Correct.
right?
Toddofficial.com. Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Todd. Can't wait to chat with you next time. Appreciate it again. Have a great holiday.
You too, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Cheers.